Hello and welcome to the Voxl and Stassi adventures, great adventures, whatever you want to call it. My fun characters is what I call it. And here we are. We're on our main Voxl. We have Stassi over here, the druid, and we have Soldatna, my mage. And the mage was not a part of the original series. She is more or less a what is going on there? Oh, she was a random addition that I had, so she's not in it because I'm replacing a mage I have on another account, and I needed I needed a place to put her, and I didn't want to power level a single mage, and I figured it would make a fine addition to this little group we got going on here. So when she hits 40, she is probably gonna be long gone. Long gone with my warrior and my other characters. But all right, so last episode we were over here on the other side of the lake. I moved over here a level 2 ago, so we are currently level 23. I think I just dinged a little while ago, and that should be reflected in the little ding montage at the beginning of this. And this is, if I'm calculating everything right, this is episode 13. So going pretty strong here. Level 23. A level an episode was not gonna happen. Some of these levels were taken between 1 to 2, maybe 3 hours of just killing and stuff. And this spot is rather slow. Same with this one over here because of the way I'm doing it, right? I have my two guys, they're over here, they're sitting right on the beach. The mobs spawn up in the field up there, right? And I'm going to pull them. And truth be told, it's kind of slow to do it. There's another group over there power leveling. They're kind of doing the same thing, but they're sitting in more of an intense area where there's lots more mobs. I tried sitting over there when they weren't there, and I could not handle more than 2 or 3 at one time. It was a real train wreck. No one's died yet, though, I don't think. Maybe Voxl died in what you call it, but I don't think anybody has actually died. Not that I'm doing permadeath or anything, but it's been a interesting little time so far. It's been fun. So I don't think any gear has changed on him. It's pretty much whatever he started with. Maybe I got this lone veil from the mage. I had a mage and a wizard, which I'm replacing with a new mage and a druid and Stassi. And yeah. So I took all their gear. I was sick of paying a chrono for them a month. I was just cutting into my profits, if you will, of farming game platinum in game, and I just got kind of sick of it. All right, and you'll notice this guy has 10 chrono. That is the 10 chrono I've given him to buy his epic pieces when he gets to that point. So I'm hoping to be able to pick up the Eye of Enaruk, the Slime Blood, and everything for about a chrono each is probably what I'm expecting to pay. By the time I start his epic, I assume we'll be in Velios. That's like 2 weeks away from now, I think. And when Velios drops, the Golems in Fear have a chance to drop the Slime Blood, which will increase the chances of that dropping, times the infinite guilds that are constantly farming all that stuff. So definitely liking my odds on getting that for a chrono. That's about all I'll pay for it. I don't like paying more than 1 chrono for any one item. I don't think it's worth it in most cases. most of the time I just go and farm it. Like, all the stuff that they're wearing, I don't think I bought any of it. It's just stuff I had gotten with my other characters. And I'm too lazy to sell stuff most of the time. I'll sell some higher end items that I come across every once in a while, but it's just not worth sitting there sometimes. So just characters fill up with their bags with items and whatnot. Sometimes I have a lot of stuff. Not enough caster stuff to go around though, since I've only made the enchanter. And I'm usually grouped with like somebody else who's a caster, so when that happens, I just pass it around. Why is your pet not attacking? There we go. But it's been a fun time, and so what we're gonna do, we're gonna stay here for just a little bit longer, I think. I really want to get 24, but I realized I had like 4 hours of footage between the last recording and this one, and I was like, that's getting too much. I don't want to edit all that to see what is actually usable, right? Because I'm only taking the dings out of those videos. Oh, and the mage pet died. And so I'm only taking the dings out of those, so it's going to be a little bit of searching for that. But conveniently, the ding sound in Everquest is so unique that I can spot it on the wavelength of it when I'm editing the video, and it pops out pretty easy when I know exact in the general area where I'm looking. So I've gotten pretty good at that. I edit all my videos based on the wavelength, honestly. I don't even usually look at the video unless I'm trying to find something specific. And that seems, you know, that's you see what the videos look like now, so that's kind of how I do it. That's how I cut off the silence in the beginnings, the silence in the end, for when I'm waiting for the video to have enough to it'll actually record. For some reason in OBS, if you click the record button off, there's like a 10 seconds of probably lost footage from that 10 seconds before you push the button, and it happens randomly. Not 100% sure why or anything like that. I would assume it would capture it all, but you know, there we go. Let's see here. Let's keep going. But as you can see, this spot, you know, it's good, you know, for this low number. If I had another character in the group, like say another mage or something like that, I'd probably just sit right here in the middle and just murder everything. Or if I had like one of my other characters here, I think that would be a significantly better spot to camp, because you'd get all the roaming stuff that just roams there. And so the druid nuke is starting to wane a little bit, right? She hasn't gotten an upgrade. The mage got an upgrade to shock of spikes from I don't even know what it was called. It was like Bane of something. And off this pet real quick, and it was shock of flame. Yeah, shock of flame, and it was causing so much aggro every fight. She was pretty much tanking the mob, and I was getting kind of sick of that. So I switched to the shock of spikes, and it seems like it's lowering her aggro, and it's also working her conjuration skill, which has been terribly neglected, because the pets don't die that much. Like, my pet dies the most because it's the necro pet, but the mage pet doesn't really die too much. Especially now I've set up the druid to be able to heal the whatever pet she has summoned a lot easier. I can click that button versus having to like try and find it and click it. So that's kind of saved the day. And so I can use a little bit higher DPS pet. I switch between the earth, air, and water, depending on whatever one is the highest level that I have. I don't really care which one it is. It's just I want the highest level pet. I don't use fire because it just like sits there and nukes, and it doesn't ever seem to do anything useful for me. But I don't know. I even noticed that on my I think she's 57, my other mage that I stopped playing. But so these are the best. The water seems to be the highest melee DPS because it's a rogue, and the earth obviously is a warrior, and the air is like a that's not gonna be fun. Sarnak recruitment letter, what is that? Check that out here in a second. The air is more of like a hybrid almost. It does a lot of stuns though, so it's kind of nice when it comes to that stuff. All right, let's just roll that out. Let's let me go to that one real quick. Sarnak recruitment letter. Scaled mystic gloves. All right, never want that. That is for shaman gloves. Ooh, and the pet is about to get smacked, but it's like a half heal. So I'm gonna go ahead. There we go. Heals in pretty much half-life, and I am out of Spirit of Wolf. So one of the I've just enjoyed having a druid, and like it's I don't know if any like I don't know if I've done any videos on the power leveling I've done with some of my other characters, but I literally box a shaman, a mage, and a cleric to equate to what a druid can do. And a wizard for porting, right? Because those are all the ones I picked, and druid replaces all those. Like the only thing it doesn't really replace is the cleric, and that is for res, for when the little guy dies, right? But the heals and stuff and the buffs, druid can do it all. Druid has thorns, regen, HP buff primary, and heals. Plus all the porting to wherever you want to go. It's just all around a great class for power leveling. And my next TLP adventure will include a druid day one. I should have done necro druid. There's a guy in my guild that gives me shit about it every once in a while. Because I ignored the vote. And so, you know, I should not have done that, because this is definitely some of the greatest time I've had with these characters is these. Alright, I'm gonna take both of these. See if I can get more damage on these things. Alright, let's go ahead and switch to you. Get them on here. I'm gonna go ahead and dot. I feel like the necro is a great primary character, but I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do this one with boxing. My intent was to box this with one of my warriors, but I don't know. I truly don't. If that's gonna even be like some kind of viable option. Getting all the dots on, sometimes, like right now, it's pointless to even dot unless I'm pulling the mob, and I pull the dot, so you know it takes a little bit of damage while I'm running, but during the actual fighting, like there's no point, since I have a druid and a mage, to pretty much burn anything down. I don't know why this thing is like half-life, but life gives you lemons. Make sure there's no one in the lemon tree, if you know what I mean. Make sure that lemon tree is protected. But what we're gonna do is get this one back over here, kill it real quick. I should get it less than 40 just by dotting it once, but the dots are just like, it doesn't seem ineffective, and I'm not even sure at 60 the dots will be effective for the way I play. And I ran my shaman, right? And my shaman's only DPS is pretty much dots, right? Whatever else, it's terrible compared to dots. And like the ice nukes and stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about for the alternate for that. And that was kind of tedious. Like I would do like the crypt and stuff like that with him or Chardok, and it was very tedious to do. Like it was good damage, honestly, but the mobs die so fast when you're 60, right? And this was without me optimizing my group like I'm doing now, and I'm afraid that the necro is gonna kind of be at a loss, and we'll have to see how that goes. Because I do plan on grouping them up eventually at some point. There's various things, right? I might do like I have 2 warriors, one's 53, one's 60, and I plan on getting my 53 one is epic and all that stuff. And I have a monk and bard that I group with him, and like, so I was thinking that like I could bring the necro, get him in there, adds a little bit more, like it gives the group a res, right? So I don't have to bring my cleric with that group. But I don't know, it's still all wishy-washy right now. I'm sure once I get the character up and stuff like that, we'll see. I plan on doing trying to do is epic. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. I'll have to buy the multi-quest on pretty much every single piece. I might be able to do Sky, but I won't be able to do Keeper of Souls. So if I can get a few people together to do a DZ, I might be able to get that. But I have to make the group myself and all that, just so that there's no other necros, so I can get it without making people angry, and just use box characters. I don't want like mains to be in the same kind of group, because I don't want to have to deal with that, especially when I'm boxing like 8 characters to get things done. All right, but I have a main character that I do all the raids with the rest of the guild and stuff like that. So I have 2 warriors, and hopefully this weekend is experience weekend. It's August 31st, and hopefully that means this weekend is Labor Day experience bonus, so that'll be fun. But the guild's doing good. The guild is going great. We just added another 8 or so higher level people, so we hit 54 I think on our last raid, which was really good. And we'd had some recruitment issues and had some lower numbers than I'd like for some things, and we definitely got back, recovered, I think would be the proper terminology for that, right? We recovered from having, almost sub 35, sub 30 in some cases for some things. We're, with boxes, we're hitting 40, but I don't really want the boxes on the raids anymore. So as soon as we can take care of that and have, 40 real people, our raids will be a lot better. It's like we've had no shamans for the longest time, and we finally got a shaman. We got a new guy. We got a guy leveling up a shaman who wants to switch mains, so he's near perfect raid attendance. So we got that. We got recruited I think 2 more shamans, so we're kind of good on shamans now, but you never know. Like it's like the wind in this game. One second you're looking at a pile of sand, and the next second there's nothing there. And so it's always good, because it gets difficult to box, especially when you want to play the main tank, right? Like that's the reason I made the warrior, and I haven't been able to do that because I do a lot of other administrative things. And realistically, I should have probably made a different main, in all honesty. Having a warrior main when you gotta, lead the guild and all that stuff, it's kind of difficult. I probably should have done like a rogue or a monk or something like that, but then the monk would have had to pull and whatnot. But I probably could have gotten out of doing it. I like pulling. I like tanking. I like doing all that stuff. When I'm doing all the other stuff, it's kind of hard to play sometimes. I'm literally just stand there because I can't go into the fight because I can't. I'm doing like something on another character if I'm bringing one, and yeah, it's kind of lame. And since the only weapons I have on him at the moment are his epics, he pulls aggro, just attacking stuff from people, and it's can be problematic, but at the same time, is what it is. But I don't think I'm the best geared anymore anyway, so there's a lot of people with better gear, more hit points, try a lot harder at getting max hit points than I do. I can't stand doing the stat food thing where you don't eat it, like where you bind like a food item to your WASD keys and a drink item to one of them too. And so every time you move, it eats or drinks, and I just can't stand that. Like it seems to like it only does like one action, right? But since movement is fairly fluid, it's continuous movement, right? It kind of just works, but at the same time, I can feel it taking that action. So there's like, it's almost like a stutter step, and it drives me insane. Especially if I bind it to like these left and right keys, right? I constantly hold down the right mouse button to do the strafing and stuff that I do. Third person, and it gobbles up, it gobbles up all those actions. Almost constantly, even if you don't need to eat, it still does it for me, and I found it too annoying. So I just buy, tons of stacks of stat food, and I just eat it. I don't even care. Platinum's easy to get. Getting food and drink is the least of my concerns. It's not a big deal to try and avoid eating one like people have like one stat food, and that's just, even on live I do it that way. I know on live you get more AAs and stuff for stat food, or I think in some cases I have summoned stat food on the high level stuff on Nomagard. I just make it. I just go fish for an hour, make all the stuff, and call it a day. It's just not worth my time to try and cheat the system on that kind of stuff. But, yeah. So we're at 23 and a half. So yeah, last episode we were over here. Same thing, right, pulling from the coast. Now over here. I was trying to go down here, but it's like perma-camped. So I'm kind of considering going to a different zone, or going over here to the goblins. The thing about the goblins is, like, they're mostly in the tunnels, and that becomes an absolute mess very quickly, especially at low levels. And then the Sarnak Jade Prod guy can like randomly spawn in any spot in the zone, and that makes it even more difficult because then you have to like deal with this level 40 shaman at level 23, right? And sometimes you can do it, sometimes you cannot. I believe in the Sons of Thule, Sons of Thule series when I was here, they all got stomped by him at whatever level, and they had like full Defiant and tradable raid gear, so I have no hope at all. So that is going to be something of concern. I'm thinking moving to Frontier Mountains. I think we shouldn't have a problem doing that. I just don't know of a good spot in Frontier Mountains yet. That I'm trying to look on the map. I'm gonna have to run a character through there and look and see. But I think that might be more exciting than this Right, let's see if I can... Where's the Frontier Mountains, right? It's a Kunarg. Alright, let's med for a second. Gotta get mana anywhere. Here's Frontier Mountains. So Frontier Mountains, right? It's a pretty big zone. It's got a lot of mountains on it, right? It's got the 2 dungeons inside of it. But this giant fort right here, I think, is gonna be... I think they're like level 30-ish. So that might be it. Close to where we want to go. I'm just not 100% sure. I'd like to get into Nurga or Droga. I think that would be... I think killing those goblins would be a fun time. Might be a little bit more challenging, which I kind of would like, as this is relatively trivial. And I literally level just like half asleep, just like running back and forth and just attacking, like this, and just not even really paying attention. So that's how easy this is, especially with the mage and the druid, right? They're very good classes for this kind of stuff. Let's see if I can get some more nukes on this guy. Oh yeah, the this magic nuke is resisted quite a bit. I'm actually gonna switch her back to Bolt of Flame. It's a level 18 nuke. But it still does enough damage, and it doesn't get resisted, as far as I can tell, for these, and even though they're yellow. So I'm assuming all this stuff's vulnerable to fire, because I'm pulling with heat blood, and I don't really ever get resist, even when they were red last level or the level before that. I just pull them. I think when they were like they're like 26 or so, and I didn't really experience any issue with that. There we go. Let's get this guy right there. So let's see here. She's hitting for 271. And you can see now she pulled aggro. The other one, the Shaka Spikes, was 196. And I'm sure it's like more mana efficient or something like that. I'm not going to do the calculation right now on the mana per, or damage per mana. But typically this shock spells, shock of whatever, or a little bit more mana efficient, and also depends on your specialization, right? The shock line is conjuration, and the fire lines are evocations. If you're specialized in conjuration, you get a little bit of mana saved with the shock spikes, the magic line versus the fire lines. You know, it just depends. I find mages really interesting. They're an interesting class, and they're kind of fun to play. I've only played them as a box. I've never done a main one. I almost want to have a group of just mages, a bard, and maybe a wizard or something, or a druid. I think that would be a pretty strong group. I see a lot of groups like that running around where they're all just mages, box mages and stuff. I think it'd be kind of fun. The mage pet is just so strong against non-raid mobs that it's just ridiculous. Like I'm using a water elemental right now, and it's tanking fairly well versus this stuff. So I'm not even worried. And I do thorn the pet too with the druid for that little bit of extra damage, but I don't even think it matters. I think I tank it most of the time with my necro here, and he's pretty solid. I have him. He's got mostly point plus HP gear, right? So that's the way I like to play a necro, is HP gear with whatever int I can get on that, but I'm not going out of my way. There we go. But the Bolt of Flame, it's so much more damage, and it makes this so much faster. And it doesn't seem to get resist. I haven't gotten a single resist yet. The only downside is she takes it for a few hits. There we go. Yeah. and the pet's hitting for 23, so it's a fairly good setup. Long term, I'll probably switch the earth pet for like any kind of challenging content, just because it tanks a lot better, and the necro pet is terrible at this point. I found out, like, I didn't even know it dropped, but apparently when Plane of Growth opens up, their Plane of Hate has Paladin, Ranger, and Druid armor that's equivalent to that. So it's equivalent to Thurigan tier, the intro level Velios armor. So I gotta go up there and farm that for her, so I can get her a full set of that. Since I'm not gonna take her to Plane of Growth, I plan on taking everybody else to Plane of Growth, but her, since she's a druid. What is it? Gotta change my enchanter and my cleric races to gnome, I think, to avoid the thing. But I was looking it up, and I found a way you can fix the faction, kinda. So that might be a thing I might do eventually on whatever characters, but I plan on farming for Plane of Growth a lot, halls of testing a lot, pretty much farming non-stop for everything we need to get to the next tiers, right? Oh yeah, 74%, nice. But yeah, it looks like we're hitting that time mark for this one. So what I'm gonna do is gonna call it here. I'm gonna keep leveling. If I move to Frontier Mountain, I'll probably pop another episode. I might try over at the Sarnak Fort again and see how well that works. But it just depends. How camped it is. You see a lot of high level 60s running over there, trying to get their Howling Stone key, just to be met by box armies or bot armies, not boxes. And it's a little bit frustrating, but there's ways they can fix it, and hopefully they do. But that is that. So I'm gonna keep leveling. We'll meet up again next time. These episodes I should have an episode of something Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's kind of the schedule I'm gonna go with, and that's how I'm putting everything. The raid stuff, I just drop those as soon as I get a thumbnail made for them. I just put them out there. I'm hoping to have a roll-up video of some of the raids we've done for the guild, Classic Nostalgia, but I've been lax on doing the voice over on those videos for that. I need to just get it done, and I'll drop that one out there too, showing some of the kills we've done lately. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and have a fantastic day.